welcome back, friends, to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. So, what say you about these tournament events? Can we get the General to maybe escalate this investigation that we are independently, investigating departments, the redundancy of department? Yeah. Okay, maybe I want to actually pay attention to the dialogue instead of thinking of stupid things to say. Okay. So we'll do just that. Certainly makes sense, and you know, the riot started here. Maybe the people who are around here can tell us a little bit more about the goings-on. Hello, sir! Friend, please don't attack me like the other guys. Well, I only went after them because they attacked me first. I just wanted to talk and keep them from doing something stupid. Uh-oh. He recognizes us. Well, at least here, you know, this, settle line, okay. At least this refugee over here is at least smart, is at least genre-savvy enough to realize, well, I'm gonna get what I want anyway, so there's really no point in ultimately standing in my way. But again, I would not have had to kill those 5 guys. They raised a hand against me first. One of your friends requested I stop them from doing something utterly retarded and getting them killed, and they decided to take their own fate in their hands. And that you'd rather die anyway, so I simply complied with the wish. I was acting in self-defense, so there. My hands are clean, sir. Regardless of what you think about me. Man, I am so glad that, you know, this, these maps and these journals are pretty omniscient and tell us exactly where we need to go, because this is not the same place we looked for him earlier and found that little poor crying girl who's been missing her parents for days. Well, we have reason to believe you're selling weapons to people, and not only you looked at me and you ran away, which is pretty much a signification of guilt of some kind, so yeah. All I want to do is talk. We'll sort out the little nitty-gritty details later. Just talk. Dude, I heard you offering one of the refugees of a proposal. Okay? Your hands are dirty somehow. Tell me, and I might let you escape with your life. Or whatever dignity you have left. You're cornered, bro, okay? Oh, shit. So now you want a plea bargain, huh? Alright, alright. At least you're gonna be somewhat... Oh, damn. Look at that! That went right through him! Holy shit! Well, that kind of sucked. Yeah, you didn't hear that coming? Jesus! That went straight frigging through him! And apparently they already took the body away. Okay, fine. Well, at least the poor guy was granted at least a merciful death. Well, a swift one, that is. Yes, I will tell you everything. Well, what little I know. Well, we don't exactly know that. He said he wasn't the man, truly, but we kind of didn't get that far, so... And somebody obviously killed him, so, yeah. Are you not, aware of my reputation, sir? Maybe not, but whatever. Alright, so, yeah, we've got another problem on our hands now. Our one potential witness has, kind of been put down. It's a little bit of a problem. So now we're kind of back to square one over here. Sort of. I wonder how often I was actually faring in his investigation. He's probably so mad that he misses on all the fun. Dead. And the buzzards already took him. Okay, so let's get an omelet. Why? Because I said so. Message from the general. All right, sir. Cool. Maybe he's learned something too. So, what up, short stack? Okay, yeah, but where have you gone in your investigation? Have you learned anything, or did you let me have all the enjoyment again?
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room.
Okay.
The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence.
Well, the other guy said it was peaceful
Until a certain
before.
incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
So they didn't fire the first shot.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, Our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
What?
Teleji Adeleji. But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Now, to stop this dead in the tracks for a second, asking why he would do this is actually a very good point to bring up. However, I'm not so sure why he's all about, he's seeming sympathetic toward the refugees, because when Teleji very first speaks up in favor of the refugees, Alphinaud himself just tells us off to the side that he's not known for his generosity and that he sees profit in it. So, yeah. Did we forget about that little plot point game? I mean, not that it really makes a difference in the grand scheme of things, but I just thought I'd point that out, that inconsistency, because it always bugged me. So, let's get back to the conversation. Why?
Know you of the Carteneau Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Carteneau Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Carteneau Flats. That much is common knowledge.
Well, because that's where it happened, really.
What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Carteneau Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Alagon ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
Yeah, that pretty much describes half the syndicate in a nutshell.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Carteneau Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Alagon monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Alagon inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, It might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon, one which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
So, yeah, the situation has gotten a lot more complicated now. Now, before I continue on, I'd like to comment about a few things on that cutscene that I didn't want to interrupt again, the middle of the dialogue for that. Number one is the glaring plot hole regarding Omega. When they're talking about this, they clearly say, you know, that Bahamut's Fury, whatever, you know, unearthed some Allagan ruins of no known history was known about. Like, this is like a brand new thing that, like, holy crap, nobody knew about this thing. So how do they know about Omega? Like, how? Now, you could argue in the 5 years in the interim that, you know, okay, they found it, you know, in their searching, and they're excavating it, and obviously there might be inscriptions and instructions on it that they could read and gather some of it about it. But considering they mention Ultima Weapon in there, and that's what made them help figure out that they weren't just, like, you know, mistranslating anything, that means that they've known about what somewhat about what Omega is, only in recent times, because at least from Alphino's point of view, I mean, Nymphilia knew what the Ultimate Weapon was, but how she found out, we don't know. So it's not that, you know, out of reach to assume that until we actually saw the Ultimate Weapon for ourselves the first time, nobody knew that the Garleans had excavated it from under Alamigo and, like, souped it up and whatnot. So, was Omega known before this, these Allagan ruins were unearthed, or not? Yeah, they kind of screwed the pooch on that one around a little bit up there. And the other thing is, they don't really explain much about what the Cartano Reclamation Bill actually is. Granted, I can understand them not going into blah 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 political crap. I mean, they've done that enough as it is already in this plot. But they don't quite explain like what is written on it. Like, how will, like, what set of events will lead up to Teleji gaining full control over this, and like what is written in the bill to like allow that? Like, that's kind of what I don't understand. And not only that, but even though he's a member of the Syndicate, he has pull obviously here in Ul'dah, but there's a military presence of the other two grand companies of, you know, of the Alliance in Cartano as well. So even if the Syndicate does vote on it, you still got two other grand companies to deal with, and they flat out state that what happens there and what happens outside of it are considered entirely separate. So I don't quite understand how whatever plan Teleji has in place to actually end up taking over these ruins and presumably to gain control of Omega over here, I'm not sure, like, where, there's a lot of details missing in there that I don't quite understand how this one bill is going to have him gain control over it over, like, anybody else. I don't really understand that, and I think it's kind of entirely glossed over. Which actually kind of sucks, because I highly doubt the other two grand companies are going to be like, let this one guy on the Syndicate, who is now proven to be an asshole, just come in there and take over disputed territory. I mean, you could say, like, oh, once he gains control over Omega, he can just use that to threaten him, but he's got to gain control over the damn thing first, and the rest of them will be damned before they let that happen. Ugh. So yeah, but it certainly, you know, it brings up the fact that these, you know, these riots aren't just some random riots, and there is something a little bit bigger involved here. And obviously we are exposed to another Polygon super weapon. Oh, jeez. And actually, before I continue, I should probably mention at this point as well that even though up to this point in the story I have taken on the first two binding coils of Bahamut, and therefore we have learned something about Bahamut, and we know Alphinaud actually knows a little bit about Bahamut because he's, yeah, he's kind of been fed information. But for main storyline purposes, they obviously have to leave that part out because it's going to leave a massive plot hole for those who haven't tackled that content yet. So it only makes a minor amount of sense for Alphinaud to kind of be like, oh crap, we have a weapon that can, you know, hold its own with Bahamut, holy shit, kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of worth mentioning. So with that ran out of the way, let's actually continue with the story. Alright. People gotta be so mean to everybody. Oh my god. Oh, it's this poor little girl. Well, at least she's safe inside the city now. She's probably still looking for her lost parents. Are you okay? We left that part out? No, and unfortunately he, met with his yeah. Look how happy she is. Just don't go too far, okay? Take note of what he just said there, by the way. I'm going to be calling back to that. Alright, so, yeah. We finally get back to what they were originally talking about when we first started this patch, like 2 episodes ago. Why can't we get everybody hooked in on the slingshot at once and call it multiple people at once? I don't is this like a limitation of this kind of thing? Because it would totally avoid some of this problem we have of talking to one another. We're all part of the same organization over here. I think it's sweet he's helping this little girl who's probably like 8 years old find her parents, even though he has no idea where the hell to look. I mean, they could have been part of those refugees that I either slaughtered, or the ones that were that other group that one single guy escaped from. Yeah. Oh, hey, dude. Okay. So what's going on? Yeah, there's some serious crap about to go down. Shots fired. I think somebody just pulled on his ponytail or something. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break while we summon the others. I mean, we've certainly earned a breather from all this. So, yeah, I'll see you next time when we learn about what the hell's been going on in the 12's Wood.